Okay. Hopefully that's all my settings in place for my as blind as I can make it playthrough of Disco Elysium. I am holding on to this series with my teeth. I don't know, I've gotten so inconsistent with being able to play it, and it's still like lurking in the back of my head. It's been like what, 2 weeks, a month since I got to be in here. There's hey guy, nice to say hi to you. I hope you're getting to sleep. I know this is a time zone unfriendly type of a way. I don't know, it's early for me. It's early for me, and that's what I'm experiencing. Okay, hopefully we are 1 hour out from being let into the Communism Club, and and there's many good things to be had around here. Okay, I guess I cannot exactly remember, and that's a terrible way to start any sentence coming back in here. Can't exactly remember where I wanted to go next, but probably I've done a lot of bug things. Probably the fast travel locations, and then see the entomologist for a second, because the hour is not quite on the hour. Hey, hijinks arcade thing. So I'm here, but I'm outside and my laptop is about to die. Hey, I'm just making miracles of timing for hanging out hour a day. You gotta get the sun rays, huh? You gotta get the vitamin D that comes from all of it. Okay, let's walk us right into here. I should have written down if there was anything I wanted to do in the immediate vicinity, but we'll keep a laser focus on finding a club of communism. They're saying gaming stream will be the video I sleep to. I genuinely always think that I'm speaking at a normal audible volume. Oh, that's nice. So don't make the fast travel take up any minutes. I wanted to see if the entomologist, and you have to pass an hour, so what, are we gonna leave it 10 minutes? I want to see if the entomologist, cryptozoologist, is back here. Have you reunited with the very first person we ever talked to in this game? Is it a happy reunion, or is this just a room full of people crossing their arms when they see us? Yes, hello. I genuinely think that I talk at an audible volume, but then when I think this, sometimes people can't hear me in real life either, and I don't know, it's an ongoing thing, and that's what
It's great to see you again, officer. My wife can't wait to thank you. Go on, talk to her.
Okay, a reunion is here. A reunion is with us. Hello. Hi, love you.
Oh, sweetie, I don't even know how to thank you for finding my husband and helping
You're
him
the
out.
sweetie.
I hope we haven't been too much trouble for you.
We could say just doing my job, ma'am, or it was a truly epic long-distance trek, or I was just on my way while I was working on the case, or I'm basically also a cryptozoologist now. I don't want to emphasize the effort in a way that makes her feel bad, but I want to, not downplay it either. We're basically a cryptozoologist. What? You've been boondoggled? You've been roped into something, Kim?
I'm not surprised. It's already getting out of hand.
Well, no need to be surprised.
Well, in that case, sweetie,
What?
let me give you a small token of my gratitude. It's a tie, Mesk in origin. The pin is an antique, quite special to the cryptozoological community.
What? A ribbon tie held together by a silver bird skull. Well, that's especially meaningful since I haven't been able to obtain the tie that talks to him through a series of extremely unlucky checks. Here's this.
The little silvery knob holding the tie together feels warm in your hand.
Grip
It's
those
in
knobs.
the shape of an avian skull with 8 eyes.
8 eyes. That's cool as hell. I hope someone sells that on Etsy. And we can lead off with, you never told me you've seen the Phasmid. Yeah, well, we're here.
Oh, you don't want to hear about some old woman's ramblings.
This is the kind of thing where there's 50 minutes to pass before we're let into communism to be a part of communism. We must hear the ramblings.
Nonsense. Your description of the phasmid is the most precise I've ever heard.
I'm taking notes on how to write a loving relationship, and part of it is apparently can be described in scientific terms.
Darling,
Dapping each other
I
up like
didn't even
that.
get the size of it right.
Oh,
You were a child, my dear.
really?
Really. It's extraordinary what you were able to describe. Now go on. Tell our friend about it. He's proven his interest in the field.
Oh my god. Buddies around here. And there's hiding socket saying, brought my charger outside, and your cousin Josh is here and gonna mow the lawn. We've gone from ASMR stream, perhaps, to I will attempt to be louder than the lawnmower. It's a competition now. And this couple is so sweet.
That is a way bigger compliment than it sounds like.
Okay, because it's someone who takes the field very seriously. And, okay, I'm getting it.
Reflexively, the lieutenant read his familiar notebook.
Reflexively. I'm bringing you into this, Kim. And there's, if I turn the volume up enough, I can hear you. Wait, I feel like I could get Jimmy too. Loud voice, clear
Well,
voice. I don't know.
It was summer. I was building a racing track out of sand on the beach near a tall stand of reeds.
Wow.
Quite a tall one. Many times my height, I remember. When, all of a sudden...
And let me know if the game volume is alright too. We can say, where was this and how old were you? Right? Because, I mean, it seems like it's been a lifetime since then. Or what happened. I mean, yeah, I'm curious. How old were you?
I'm getting ahead of myself. I was 5 and a half in Betancourt in the suburbs. My grandmother had a summer home there.
Oh my gosh, oh my gosh.
She'd just started forming memories. Real memories. Not the billowy haze of infanthood.
That's a really, distinct period. It's strange to think some people don't even have that. Well, it happened.
The strangest moment of my life. I looked up and one of the reeds moved. Not like a plant, but like a living thing. It stood up and looked at me. Its body unfolded like some antique toy. I've never seen anything like it.
Okay, do they not have ordinary stick bugs in this universe? I'm so curious.
She had no fear, just surprise.
Is out of the ordinary stick bugs? Okay.
I didn't know this can happen, so I reached my arm and touched the thing. It felt just like a stalk of reed, but it moved, swaying, towering above me.
Whoa.
After a while, 20 seconds, a minute maybe, it left, went into the reeds.
And then you're like at a child's size, so it's way more difficult to tell how big something is. What the hell? Okay, did you follow it?
I tried, but I was only a child. There was mud and high water. I couldn't see it anymore. I was just standing there knee-deep in mud, looking around me.
Wow.
Where did you go? Don't go.
Okay, Inland Empire? Then what?
I ran back home to my grandmother and asked her if reeds could walk, and told her they were looking at me. Of course, she just laughed at me, but I knew what I'd seen.
And the fact that that's an inciting incident that kind of leads her to knowing Morel. That's fun. That's fun.
For years, it was a story I told at parties when I wanted to impress boys. That sort of thing. Of course, most people just took it as a strange, amusing anecdote. So did I, honestly. But then I met Morel.
That's the first part of that paragraph, therefore, is especially amusing.
We were on a date. Can you imagine? She tells me a story, and it's the most detailed report of the Insulindian phasmid I've ever heard. The sounds. She told me it hissed.
That's... it freaks me out to think of a bug hissing at you, even though some of them do that, but okay.
So that's how they met. This is beyond significant for them.
I'm getting caught up in the romance of it, just feeling of brightness in my chest, okay?
It did, yes. Like reeds in a gust of wind.
Oh. And that she wouldn't have even known that the details would be significant to her later in life. Wouldn't have known which ones to write down or which would get distorted.
The way it moved, the colour, how some of its limbs were white, like marble.
Ooh.
It matched perfectly with what I know from other accounts. It was amazing.
I see why they get obsessed with that. Check back at the chat to see old people in straight suit beds. Lena and Morella are pretty cute. Yeah, getting stick bugged out here. It's... I feel like memories distort so much as they go on. I really wonder, like, did she write that down or anything? Was she old enough to have written it down immediately after?
If it weren't for Lena, I might have given up hope years ago.
I
It's
feel
no
that.
exaggeration to say
The
that she
story of it.
restored my faith in my profession.
Oh my god. So we can ask a whole slew of questions, keeping an eye on the time, because communism will rise after our very sweet chat that restores faith and love. So you were on a date,
Our first, yes.
and its limbs are white.
Not all of them. There is some white coloration reported, along with beige, where the camouflage ends.
And how big was it?
It's hard to say how big things are when you're quite small yourself.
Everything looks
See,
huge
it
back
seemed
then
to
in
be
my memory.
taller than I was then,
Child
but
stuff.
that's probably not the case.
I mean, how small of a child were you? We could say maybe you imagined it. You know, we've gained the trust. The urge to click on every line of dialogue lurks within me always. I'll skip it. And we can ask, Kim, what do you think of this?
I thought it was a wonderful story, man.
I mean, don't the corroborating, consistent reports give you any hint of doubt?
But I don't believe it. A child left unattended on a warm day. Children make up stories and then end up believing them.
I want to believe it's possible within the context of the game now, too. Alright, thanks for sharing.
You're welcome, sweetie. I do appreciate the chance to relive it whenever I get one. It was just such an impossibly sunshiny day. So warm.
But maybe they're in the wrong season, though.
And she could get up and walk right into the reeds on
There's
her own,
that.
into the mud, anywhere.
Oh my gosh. Okay, that was really neat. What? Check back at the chat for a beautiful memory. And now you know why the Phasmid means so much to them. It's like the fact that it happened in childhood reminds me more of like Red String of Fate stories, Fated to Meet Someone stories. Very cute, very cute.
Nothing like the gratitude of a good woman.
Alright, old man, with that
What can I do
phrasing.
for you?
I have nothing but stick bug in my mind, but let's find out.
He tries to play it cool, remain professorial, but inside, this man is itching for some news on those traps.
That's several traps. Checked all the traps.
Good. Okay. And
One of them was empty.
completely empty?
Nothing in the traps, no locusts, no phasmid.
No locusts? No phasmid either?
So it's fast mid.
That's not ideal, but
The empty trap was the one at your campsite. Maybe this factors into it somehow. I just got him back over the water lock.
I definitely left that one stocked.
And you know it in your memory.
Right from the campsite? Just means the Insulindian phasmid is even more clever than we thought.
I mean, it seems like a fine way to spend, I don't know, time adventuring together as much as you can.
Of course, more clever.
I mean, what?
You're dealing with a subject near and dear to their hearts. It might behove you to tread lightly.
I'm really glad I didn't give in to the urge to click on every option.
Yes, the Phantasmadeia picked off the locusts and escaped. This is good news, though we'll have to reconsider the design of the traps, make them more secure.
Carnivorous thing, huh?
Another trip to the reeds.
You guys were out there for days. We can say, yes, that's exactly what it is. What a deft hunter. Or I'm not persuaded. Ah, you've committed so much to it, though. And are you sure you exhausted the alternative explanations? I mean, they're not here to be sure of that. They're here to go on an adventure and look for it. Hopefully stay safe. Yeah, it's a deft hunter.
Of course. Be sarcastic. Unless you have an alternative hypothesis you'd like to venture, mine stands, okay?
Damn, that was not careful enough. Ooh.
Actually, no. Excuse me for getting emotional.
Okay.
This is a big deal for us. You've helped us twice now, and brought some great news too. My gratitude, and the gratitude of the Société Cryptozoologique de Ravachol, is yours.
Kept the accent for that. Wow. Okay, I feel like that only pops up if you lean completely into it, maybe. He's really used to people being sarcastic with him, isn't he?
Heartfelt gratitude. But does it feel like closure? What really happened?
Well, Inland Empire, at least, is definitely a cryptozoologist now.
Thank you, it's an honor. We should probably return to our main investigation here. This has been refreshing, but...
Kim, you know I'm keeping you overtime for a communism meeting.
Helping cryptozoologists isn't really a priority for our organization, is it? The lieutenant looks out the window, impatiently.
Enthusiastic about the phasmid. Something's up with the trap. Kuno's a hooligan? And you considered alternatives. What do you think a kid got in there? Okay, this is coming out of nowhere. Let's see.
Consider the way the empty trap was disturbed, as though shaken. Most likely the hands of a young person. Hands small enough to fit inside the trap, too.
I don't know if I can. So you don't have to say it out loud in front of them, though, right?
You should ask the red-headed boy, Kuno.
Oh, okay. You say out loud, do you think he may have stolen the locusts?
A little hooligan. But what would a child want with bags?
What would a child want with drugs? We're finding out lots of things in this town.
Oh, my dear Morel. You've been an old man for too long. Kids love to torment insects almost as much as they love to torment old folks.
We ran around tracking all the traps so quickly. It's hilarious to think of Kuno, I don't know, sneaking in there. Talk to him and see if anything comes up.
Delinquents, my favorite.
Me? A little bit more time before that meeting.
Oh, you've been such a dear to us. Please, let us know whatever you turn up. I have a feeling we're getting so close.
It would be really messed up and violent if we go over to Kuno and he's holding the cryptozoologist thingy.
Well, I see you've got all the help you need. I'll see you tonight at my place. Let's play suzerainty, but no more field trips for me.
Mm-hmm.
After this is your last chance to talk to Gary.
Oh, wait, last chance. Okay, that can supersede Kuno, I guess. I don't know. I'm more concerned with last chances than I am with knowing what I would want to say to him or of him.
Really, Gary? We're getting somewhere here. I'd love to play suzerainty, but...
Suzerainty.
Lena, I'm sorry, but you're not getting anywhere. It was some kids. I know the little mutants around here. Leave anything out in the open and they'll steal it, even if it's bugs.
Okay, Gary.
Morel, it's been fun, really, but I need a bath and I have deliveries to handle. When this tea is done, I gotta run.
Deliveries.
No need to apologize, Geary. You'd be more than helpful. We'll have to take a rain check on that game of suzerainty today, though. We're gonna follow this through.
What today? It's like a couple hours to midnight.
He keeps the language unemotional,
Ooh.
but it's in there. Disappointment.
Alright, friendship of trembling ways. Things I've missed in the chat is Just wondering what you plan to karaoke, and now's a good time because everyone's here. I'm very curious. Does it doesn't take like long enough that it would cause us to miss joining communism, right? Okay, well, other things I missed in the chat. Where the locusts go, not good on anything, and let's be an honorary cryptozoologist. I am really curious if there's types of checks that it's impossible to fail, because I'm pretty sure there was 197 that was not attainable up in here, at least in this playthrough, right? And then you can find where the locust went to do with the Kuno, and let's play that board game about colonization, says the crypto fascist. Oh my. Alright, where's everybody standing that we may see or look to them? That's a Gary. Okay. Saving right before things. Actually, I don't know the difference between a quick save and a regular save, because that seemed kind of quick to me. Very curious about karaoke. I'm very curious about karaoke. Does it... Wow. Okay, it feels right to be on stage. And... Wow. I don't know, nothing particularly appears to click on unless there's items to interact with. maybe. And, okay, can talk to Gart to do the karaoke. Oh, okay, thank you. I would have been in a circle about it. The tape you found from a shack on the coast. The A side has the smallest church in St. Sains written on it, while the B side is supposed to contain the instrumental version and requires a boombox to play. And what do we boom? We box. There is a boombox. Alright, kind of makes me wonder if I want to alter his outfit about it or anything. Hello, Gart. We're not here for room and board.
Was there something you needed?
Well, it seems like you're healing from everything we put you through. That's good to hear.
Well. Bringing him that new bird sure made a difference in his attitude.
It's not room and board or anything. Okay. There's about my bill for tonight. I need a drink, or saw another thing at the whirling. Which one do I think leads to it?
Another thing. Great. I love those.
Oh, we can tell that she nicked the phone line. That seems mildly dangerous, but I guess on the other hand, Gart has not shown too many signs of danger. He's saying in all caps now, do you appreciate this hot shit? Yeah, does he though? Well, not knowing which options are correct. I don't know, let's click this. She nicked the phone line.
Why? No, fuck it. I don't want to know. I don't want to know why these degenerates do what they do. I thought we had one good guest in the building.
I'm so sorry then. I'm so sorry.
He really doesn't like it being classier.
We can say, I bet you didn't want it to be her. Mystery solved, I don't like loose ends. Or, yeah, Lena. Lena's a good customer. I mean, I'm curious about Lena. Do I only get to choose one?
Yeah, well, she's not a guest, is she?
Oh, was she just hanging out?
What? Did someone mention my name?
I didn't mean to.
We were just paying you a compliment. And finding out a degenerate from room 3 nicked the phone line. Everything is okay here.
He yells it to the room. Okay, I feel like I'm constantly doing things that endanger classy.
Good thing that guest pays for her stuff on time. Forward her the bill and be done with it.
Ooh.
Is there anything else?
Alright. We can talk about the blue steel door. Something else to ask about. Bill for tonight and leaving. I guess, like, would I leave and try to put the boombox together because it said it needed a boombox to play, and then you're saying we talk to Gart for karaoke, so this is gonna fit together somehow with the right tools in hand. This is a multi-tool. It looks great. That's not what I meant to do. You could just go around like that. You could rock up to the mic like that. Alright, so that's on you now. The smallest church in St. Sains is here.
The porter reel is just what you needed. The reel's attached to the apparatus with a satisfying click. The tape is routed behind the magnetic reader.
Hello to Jojo Pop at this very late hour. You know, just locked in on some gameplay trying to discover communism and karaoke in one fell swoop, but hi to you. And, okay, pressing play on the tape.
You press the large button marked Commencer, and the tape starts spinning. There's a small delay before the song starts playing.
You can press your ear against it. Is it gonna hurt? How much is it gonna hurt?
It sounds like someone's moving in the room, getting comfortable. Then the organ starts playing a simple, melancholic tune echoing in the hallway. A lone singing voice joins in.
Does it jog his memory, maybe? To know the lyrics for sure?
Telling you about the tiniest church in Cessons, surrounded by even tinier yard. You almost feel the seaside mist on your skin. It's mega sad.
The ornate descriptions followed by it's mega sad. Love that.
Within seconds you know, this is the one. The real shit you've been looking for. The one you trust your room to. This one tells it like it is. This is your tune.
Well, it sounds like that's gonna be kind of traumatizing for the other people here, but...
A click, then silence for a bit. Then the tape stops spinning.
We can say, could I sing this for karaoke? Or no, I couldn't. I might cry and trash the room again. No, you're in a new room, and there's new chances, and you're made of the same stuff, but you give it new meaning. We could say, scratch that, I'm already crying. I look dumb and old. Hey, it doesn't matter how you look. I mean, that's the motto of a cryptozoologist, right? Essentially. You could sing this.
Of course you could sing this. You could take sad to a whole new level with this. And you already know the lyrics since you've listened to it like 1,000,000 times.
There we go.
And the B-side of the tape contains the instrumental version. It's like the world itself is telling you to do it. Only one obstacle stands on your way.
What stands in the way?
Gart. You have to convince Gart to let you sing karaoke in the whirling. After you've won him over, you can express yourself. Let the pain out. Make everyone understand.
We are cutting this increasingly close to communism time, but let's see it.
The lieutenant looks at you as you remove the tape from the boombox. He doesn't say anything.
Thanks for being here, Kim Kitsuragi. Alright. Yeah. Gart.
Hey, was there something you needed?
I need to sing karaoke right now.
No, you don't. It's not happening.
Oh, you don't love my voice, my tunes? How about
He
it?
tries not to look at you. It's dangerous to acknowledge the karaoke man.
I knew it was going to be traumatizing for the people around you. We could say, yeah, but Johnny Law is about to tear it up sad style. That's convincing? Or why do you even have the PA system if no one's going to use it? I mean, the dead man also used it. We can say it's part of my quest of self-discovery. Help me. This is my way of apologizing for the trouble I've caused. Please let me say I'm sorry. Could I have put on a different outfit? None of these quite hit right. None of these strike me as convincing, but I've been surprised before. We gotta start with, why do you have the PA system?
It's for no one. It's a problem. I'm not letting anyone use it after the great karaoke catastrophe of 44.
I mean, if other people were in here, then is 44 pretty recent? What happened in 44? Or it's not a prop, it's for your clients, I know it's used. Or when was the last time you had a band play here? I'm curious about all of these, but if I only get one, I'd pick the middle.
Okay, yes, it's for some clients.
Okay. We could say I'm a real client. I've paid my bills with some help, with a lot of help, and I have a right to use the karaoke machine. Or you could say, okay, fuck me then. Just fuck me. I mean, hopefully you could say that in a more positive context next time, Harry. Okay, we're a real client.
Well, we don't have any tapes. They all got stolen.
I have my own song. If it gets destroyed, I will be sad.
The man in the vest and the violet shirt stares at the tape you've just given him. He begins to frown. Hard.
It's time. It's time. Brought my own for karaoke.
This is the look of a man who's defeated. He knows he's out of excuses.
Oh, did I find the working dialogue path first of all? Okay, I'm feeling confident. I'm feeling
Climb on
confident.
that stage and do your thing. Just get out of my
Do you
hair.
think
I'll plug it in for you. Damn this karaoke machine.
this is beautiful?
I'm having it uninstalled, he mumbles to himself.
Oh,
Oh yeah, time to do the damage.
Inland Empire. Alright. Cutting it very close to communism, but here we go. And things I missed in the chat are, sounds like a beautiful sad song, perfect to sing. This place is shitted with Imperial Fragile Soul. Oh yeah, it's gonna be bared. I like that the following mechanic has him step up on stage as well. It's, I don't know, it doesn't feel intentional, but it's funny. And God, we literally bought you a new bird, and you're still trying to hold Harry back from pursuing his creative career. And the Great Karaoke Catastrophe of 44, where according to God, everybody died because some asshole wanted to sing karaoke. Oh, he tried everything then. Tried everything. Sing it, Harry.
The stage is all set up for your performance. Feels silent. You can hear the pellets creak under your feet.
I gotta know.
You feel a little dizzy, a little unsteady suddenly.
Steady enough to hold up your boombox proudly.
So, are you ready for your thing now? Let me know when I should turn on the karaoke carousel.
8%. I have to stop. I have to wait a minute. I have to put on the drama clothes. Unless they're already on, I'm... No. Would you have a nice time? It's red. What do you mean red? I'm gonna sing karaoke. Look, Kim.
I can see that.
Here, we could test it.
Immediately, a loud feedback noise startles the room. You feel like an amateur. How are you supposed to hold the mic? Should you just sing into it? Where should you stand?
And I've thrown off your balance by holding tools, haven't I?
Hands. Where do you put your hands?
Oh, what? You can look around the
The bar is
room.
full and buzzing with chatter. No one is paying you any attention. But still you feel your knees turn to noodles. Okay, now a couple is looking at you. Even worse,
I've misclicked on things before. I'm clicking very carefully.
you're sweating.
Stop that.
They are going to hate you.
Ah! Lowered the odds. Lowered the odds. You're right up on the stage, Harry boy, but you need to change your clothes. Bow knot already adds drama. I don't know. Okay. Electrochemistry. Maybe. Is that what goes on here? I dragged that to the wrong slot. The pants have to be replaced with something. Inland Empire and Volition can be boosted. Do they help with singing? And then that oh, okay, yes. Okay. So I don't think... I don't think, therefore I don't am. What? Yeah, okay, there's nothing much else is here. Okay, you can either have +1 drama and -1 authority, or +2 drama and +2 electrochemistry. Alright, just changing your clothes on the stage, nothing to see here. And that's absolutely everything. The electrochemistry pants, I want to say, are probably better than the moralist pants. Do we want empathy shoes about it? Or is... Oh, there was a -2 drama, okay. Good to check on every single thing before you leap into something. And then I don't think the boombox has any stats. Why would it have stats? It just plays you a little tune. And there's time to magical girl yourself into the karaoke outfit. And with the nervousness, just imagine Kimmy's underwear. And saying, if you want to hear both versions, I don't think anyone would blame you for saving beforehand. It's that kind of nervousness. I'm always curious if I've clicked the right buttons
The
before
stage
that.
is all set up for your performance. Feels silent. You can hear the pellets creak under your feet.
Pellets versus
You
pallets.
feel a little dizzy, a little unsteady suddenly.
Why would we?
So, are you ready for your thing now? Let me know when I should turn on the karaoke carousel.
Well, we saved right before... Formidable to drama. I don't even know how I'm gonna execute this
The
stuff.
air is thick with anticipation.
I mean, but also I'm questioning how good it can be. How good it can be exactly. Alright, well, I'm glad to have that bookmarked. I don't know if I'm gonna re-roll the dice all at once like live or anything, but...
Someone dims the lights as the music starts. A lump's in your throat suddenly.
No, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry, Harry. Oh, I'm very sorry. It's a bonding experience, okay? Okay, animated the nervous expressions.
I would often go there to the tiny church there,
It's almost,
the smallest church in Sanson.
it's almost something.
Now it once was larger. How the rill may rest there,
I'm surprised they didn't animate anyone covering their ears.
down through the mist there,
But the soulfulness is full throttle.
towards the seven sisters,
It almost sounds like a rock ballad falsetto.
towards those pale cliffs there. I would often stay there
And the guy who what the fuck is in the
in
room.
the tiny yard there.
Oh!
I have been so glad here,
And you're wearing his clothes.
looking forward to the past year.
I mean, I feel like he's almost there.
No,
I feel like he's almost, okay. You committed.
all alone.
Emphasis on the almost for this last part. But some of it was like almost there. Oh! Ah! Wow, that was a throaty sound. So, new skill point you developed as a person. I almost expected to see his morale go all the way down. Okay, but you're good, you're brave, you're strong. This isn't even close to the lowest point in your life, and that's the more of it. You're saying you physically retreat into yourself when you hear this version? He absolutely gave that his all. Limbic system is saying, I would often go there. Oh, from your limbic system. Because it's subconscious, not just memory. The entire lyrics. I'm really curious who his voice actor is, if it's shared with the limbic system exactly. Wow, nice of them to put that in text, because, yeah, a little bit of me shut down.
Do you hear that?
A little bit.
It's the most pathetic applause in the world, Harry, made of pity. No one liked you.
Okay, drama, speaking it up. We couldn't have had our back on this a little earlier. Excuse me. We could say, you didn't like it, huh? I'm up here singing my fucking heart out and it's not good enough for you fuckers. Or fuck you, I gave it my fucking best. I gave it everything and you shit on me. You could lash at other people. I mean, you could go. I'm sure there's amusement to be had. Any which way. You could go a little humble, why not?
Your words echo in the karaoke mic. People talk in the distance. A couple tries not to look at you.
Well, that's earnest. And the earnestness doesn't feel good at first. You're gonna wash this right off. I swear.
Quit yelling into the mic.
What? Hey, that's a bold tone of voice to take with somebody who is currently on the mic. We could beatbox next. We could do anything next. Fully a cappella. We'll recommit. Ooh, okay, the humbleness doesn't stick. What are the other? Do I want to flip a coin about that? Do I have a coin near me? I don't have a coin near me. I have a voided ID. Yeah, okay, that has a heads on it, and it could have a tails on it as well. All right, heads for the first option. State barcode for the second one. Flip. All right, second option.
Someone walks out of the room by the front door. Some woman. Is it because of you?
Okay, we could say, you don't know what good singing is. This is real singing because I sang about real stuff. Or I sang about how I feel. Fuck all of you scum. Or you could just stand there. I'm clawing my way out of it, finding no purchase, slipping down the cliff. We just stand there.
That's it. I'm unplugging it.
Yeah. Alright, presses a little stop. The mic dies in your hand. Yeah, you could describe it like that way. Like a death.
Let's go, officer. These people wouldn't know a good performance if it beat them in the ass.
That's an adorable way to phrase it, Kim. He's not gonna pretend he'll like it, is he? I'm deeply interested. You like it?
Detective Dubois, it was downright tragic. Now, let's go.
But that is how it's intended to be, sort of. I must. I absolutely must. I must see how that goes in a different sense. But we'll go on for now.
He thinks.
Yeah. Your authority stat can only do so much for this, right?
To him, being a cop in the RCM was truly expressed in that performance.
Oh, damn. What? You shared a moment? Amidst all that, you shared a moment. Alright, 10 minutes to communism. How close do I cut it? Last
Very
chance
generous of you to help us out,
talk to
officer.
Gary.
I'm sure glad to be back from that little excursion.
Okay. The thing I missed in the chat saying, yeah, it was Limbic System that sang it. If you succeed, it's a different part of Harry. No way, that's fascinating. Okay, wait, that's fascinating. And the only reactions Harry can have is aggressive retaliation, and I could not believe like, I'm sure that Kim knows that the hint of supportiveness goes a long way, even if it's, you know, objectively absolutely tragic, but I don't know, somehow it surprised me anyway. Relating to the pain we caused, indeed. Alright, keeping a close eye on the time, because we don't want to miss communism.
I mean, officers.
I talked to everything. I did see everything. I got the last chance warning for this character, but I'm pretty sure that was everything. There's would very much recommend seeing the success as well. Maybe save now, reload, and see which one you like better. You know what? It's itching in my head enough that I absolutely am curious to go in a little bit of a loop.
I told you everything.
'Tis true, sire. This man simply did not know what he was getting caught up in.
Alright, it's good to know that I wasn't missing anything for that. Alright, yeah. Let's look around in here. I've had some autosaves, but I believe this one's it. Alright, but what we want first of all is to internalize a little bit of a failure. Does quick save do that? I mean, it should. Okay, failure internalized. Looking around at other things. See how it goes. Yeah. Take me back. Take me back. Take me back. I haven't tried this in this direct a fashion yet, I think. And you're back. And you're all dressed up and everything. And do the
The
things
stage is all set
that...
up for your performance. Feels silent. You feel a little.
So, are you ready for your thing now? Let me know when I should turn on the karaoke carousel.
Was I maybe too close to the... Okay, if the other things unlock a hand conundrum, then will I confuse myself if I go back further? And there's... Okay. We'll check in the chat for if I may recommend something, maybe load the save you made before talking to Gart, because I think you did make one, because it was before you decrease the chances. Okay, right, because I'm looking at this and like, I have embroiled myself in a veritable lasagna of bad choices. Alright, we've got a quick save up in there. We've got a slightly earlier autosave. This would be right after Gart, maybe? Right after Gart, maybe? Well, it takes a moment to load, but honestly I'm a little bit unsure which elements it all is as we lead
The stage
ourselves
is all set up for you.
in
You feel a little.
a
So,
circle.
are you ready for your thing now?
Okay, with maybe the... if the... clicking on the options lowers it all. Was this actually the absolute maximum? And did I change the shoes just for the hell of it? Or change some pants around here as well? Puzzling
The
it
stage
all
is
together.
You feel
So, are you ready for your thing now?
Okay,
Let me know
that's
when I should
evens.
turn on the karaoke carousel.
And I'm okay, it's still not above 50%, but I'm truly curious about the most economical way to go about seeing this save.
the air is thick.
No, it isn't. How about what if it isn't? Okay, what's economical around here? We're clicking on an autosave, we're reloading an autosave. What am I talking about in the interim? I was just wondering about that, and then thinking about it just makes Harry nervous. Just gotta go for it. I know it's the destructive. Oh right, and things that take the drama away. I feel like I found one of those glasses. Right, you can't be having the glasses around here. Did I want anything to do with... I can't replace that necktie. And then the perfect outfit. You don't need the pants in the outfit, but you can have the pants just because. Is moralism going to help you sing karaoke? No, it's not. Alright, I think. Therefore I am. You're going. You doing this? We're in a little loop to see the possibilities, to see what's good.
You feel
So, are you ready for your thing now?
That's
me
almost
know when
to
I should turn on the karaoke
60%. You could.
the air is thick with
Mamma mia,
anticipation.
here we don't go again. Then, okay, I'm getting more economical as I as I discover this aspect of the game, possible aspect of the game, more economical about it, in which case I would want a small save because they all seem to be parallel to each other. I want a small save right after he's in the outfit because economy of movement, that's taking the moment in there, and you say a lot of playthroughs I've seen watch both, right? And if there were any time at all to to find out about different pathways, this one has been looked forward to as you strip your shirt off right in front of the bar, take off the glasses, the gloves can also be hot, something around here, and okay, the glasses are off, the drama is on, perception, no, and that's probably good, right? It's probably good. You don't want to perceive the couple across the bar. You don't want that whatsoever. This doesn't help with drama, right? Oh, -1 to rhetoric, though. Alright. Economical. You get a second quick save because from what I've seen, you can just flip back between the layers, I think. We're here. I'm Mullet is saying, are you going to sing?
The stage is all
I
set
have
up for
failed
your performance.
singing.
You can hear the pellets
And
creep under your feet.
and for the first time in the entire playthrough, I don't know what's been, I'm on a 20th episode over here, I'm really making use of the saving, because I've just been barreling ahead until this moment, because in this moment, it's gonna haunt me if I don't know the successful pathway.
You feel a little dizzy.
We don't
So,
feel a little
are you ready
dizzy,
for your thing now? Let me know when I
just
should turn on the
evens as
karaoke
good as it
carousel.
gets.
The air is thick with anticipation.
Anticipation in a good way,
Someone dims the lights as the music starts. Okay, here we go.
Here we go. What do you sound like? The different systems. I wish both ears worked on this thing. More evenness, maybe?
I would often go there to the tiny church there,
Does this mean
the smallest church in San,
were we hearing it inside of his head?
though it once was larger.
What?
How the realm may rest there,
The other one
down through
sounded like it belonged in reality.
toward the Seven Sisters,
This one sounds like
toward those pale cliffs there.
maybe his voice could be like that, the actual physical
I
man.
would often stay there
But the other one sounded
in
like
a tiny yard.
maybe we could
there.
believe that was his voice, making an effort to sing.
I have been so glad here,
This one could be too.
looking forward to the past here.
What? That's a strange contrast.
You are all alone. None of this matters. No,
Getting into
none
it,
of this matters.
just the same as the other one, getting into it.
All
Then if those were his internal voices, are they only how he felt about it? Or... Well, thanks, ancient reptilian brain. Okay, that's fascinating. Okay. What? I'm glad I figured out a safe mechanic for that.
A lazy applause fills the room.
Well, okay.
You feel and shake as awareness of your body returns to you.
Awareness of your body. So the voice that we heard was definitely not supposed to be awareness. Just the internal resonance. Okay, now I'm fascinated. Check back at the chat for a second, saying, you gotta nail it, it's imperative to the character. There's so many failures that also feel imperative, but isn't it okay to have a win sometimes? Gruff, almost spoken word. Sounds sexy though. When I imagine Harry's voice, this sounds more accurate. Okay. And then it's Tom Waits or T-Bone Burnett. Ancient reptile brain coming to save the day. So you could start this off by maybe saying aloud, thank you, ancient reptile brain. Do you say that out loud? And then do you dedicate this to contact Mike, the RCM, don't fire me? Or you performed it for yourself? I really hope you get to say more than one. Thanks, reptile brain.
There is silence now in the deep where the voice came from. It has receded to return only in dreams and nightmares.
Dreams, nightmares, karaoke. 3 sides of the same coin.
This guy really cares.
Oh my god. And then, okay, you can only dedicate it to one person. I feel like I really want to hear a lot of these. The Kim one is really sweet, and then performing it for yourself also feels very valuable, and then okay, wait, they took away the option to dedicate it to the RCM. Please don't fire me. That's very fun. Alright, well, I want to see... You're saying, oh, the Kim one just feels really meaningful.
The lieutenant doesn't say anything, but gives you a quick smile before turning away.
After very carefully scribbling up this stream's thumbnail art in the close hand-holding manner, this feels like a cherry on top. This feels
He's
nice.
incapable of blushing, but if he weren't, he'd blush.
I'm glad I'm here. I'm glad I saw that.
Good. Are we ready? I want to unplug the microphone now.
No level of inspired performance makes it any easier that I'm here, but hey, I rewound time so you could witness this part.
Last words?
We could say, evening will come, we will sow the white sail. Workers of the world, unite. Thank you, Martinez. Workers of the world, unite. Yeah, that's spoken like somebody who's about to rock up to the communism meeting, which we are. Okay, perfect. And there's saying your dedicated partner has been by your side this whole time. Worthy of a dedication. I think the quick saving made the crypto-fascists vanish into thin air. That's absolutely fascinating. And then this...
Yes?
Nothing new cropping up, but I feel like I've seen everything. Absolutely fascinating.
Hello, officer. I think I almost have it. A new trap design, that is.
Yes.
I know you're skeptical, but I have a good feeling about this.
Okay. I like to imagine that it's canon that they're just absolutely staying on track after you sing your heart out in karaoke, canon as opposed to a limitation of how many things there can realistically be. Okay, that's... I don't think there's anything else in particular that's left in here before we go on. There's... Okay, there's the couple staring at you, there's people to talk to, maybe. There's something you could grab out of the room. Is that new? I've just clicked on it. Maybe they'll be yelling at me for grabbing things. No, okay, I just walked in there after singing karaoke, took 50 cents from you as if to tip myself for that performance. There's... Hi
again, gendarme.
Yeah, probably nothing new because it would
Bye-bye,
take
gendarme.
so much. There's just highs and buys. And there's saying Harry dedicating his performance to his husband made the fascist evaporate. Absolutely perfect. And saying you gotta give him an outlet in these trying times and have you talk to them. Talk to the zoologists at the top of the hour. Is this guy? Cryptozoologists, one crypto-fascist, and if this guy only talks about money, he would, I don't know, complete the trifecta. Okay, I think probably everyone... There's no way she would say anything about...
I've got nothing to say to you.
Yeah,
Why
no,
are
okay,
you
later. Nothing to say about the glorious karaoke we just said, that's alright. And we just walk on. And there's saying being able to dedicate the song to Kim is one of my favorite moments, and and even being able to get a blush out of him if he were capable, right? Just the hypothetical blush. He may have told us that he's a part of the homosexual underground, joking as it may be. But in that moment, we're trying to bring the homosexual above ground. Is that what I'm saying? Is that how I finish that sentence? I guess so. I guess I commit to it like that. There's saying being able to penetrate Kim's hard exterior. Yo, the emotionality in here, and then you absolutely book it out of there as it draws closer to Communism hour. And you bring the tunes with you. I don't think there would
Hello
be...
again, officers. Have you come to admire my mural?
I don't think there would be anything new there. But let's obnoxiously keep the boombox going as we try to find our way up to this room, which I don't think that I've been able to be on the terrace before, but the vibes are excellent. Little sweeping person.
Give me a moment.
Oh my gosh, in the cleaning up in the sickness with stuff. I'm vibing so much. Okay, do you know anything about a secret meeting that's happening tonight?
What? No. Nobody tells me anything.
Oh, let her into the communist meeting. Any unusual activity taking place after hours, after 2200?
If it ain't my business, I'll keep my nose out of it. Look,
That makes sense.
I think we'd all be better off if people kept their noses to themselves.
I'll just put my nose in front of a crowd of people singing the heart out and saying I think you have to go up to the door, up the stairs behind Cindy. Okay, up to the door and then maybe, probably, oh, okay, wait. Is this anything? Wow. Clicking on all the possible things. Martinez Realty Associates. You get some autosaves if you want. There's some communism if we want. Things to click on. Ooh. Oh, I feel like I didn't walk in this direction before.
A shift in temperature. The air chills around you. Dust settles on the stony floor.
You can rub your sides for warmth. Haven't exactly dressed you warmly, have I?
A former architect stands before a slice of window. A room plan in her hand. A cold wave has made the air in the building stand still and frozen, with temperatures falling down to -20 degrees Celsius.
You can think about the face of the architect.
is red from the cold. She's breathing on her fingers clasping the plan. Traces of sadness are visible in her expression.
It's an architect for a place that's doomed to have failure and half-hearted karaoke and hijinks. Like I was saying, if you want to pass the time till 10, you can just read one of the things in your inventory and click through it. I'm not sure how much it'll grab onto us, but I am kind of wondering about the case logs a little, if there's anything more. Now, what's the plan of the architect?
Faint pencil lines on paper depict the same place, but a missing eastern wall connects the room with the neighboring apartment. Ideas for arranging the furniture have been jotted down.
And we can look around.
It's clean and empty, with new tapestry embellishing the walls. A standard HB graphite pencil has fallen off a three-legged stool in the middle of the room.
So they have the same types of pencils, huh? I guess you just shiver about it. And I guess that reminds me, before going, I'm really curious how much logic versus suggestion versus anything we would want to have in here. You could have -2 authority with the jacket. I feel like the camaraderie stats were very good indeed. Guess we'll take that back down despite the style of it. And do I expect that electrochemistry will help anything? Empathy shoes for meeting with people, meeting in the communism. Maybe regular pants. You know, I'm second guessing times a million, so probably this dark sort of an outfit is pretty good. Gosh, and then you got a new skill point. I don't even quite know what I would want to put that into next. Things to grab, and there's... Where can I find some good communism? Oh, straight up books to be reading. Oh, and then balcony. Alright, never got to see that before. And saying, okay, I think I caught all of the things, and there's a door indeed. You know, there could be secret meetings, or I could bring pulsating music. This door doesn't have anything to do with anything, probably, I think. Because for some reason I'm under the impression that the blue door is more meeting-y. More meeting-like. More meeting-ish. Is anything different now that we're face-to-face?
Ooh, the piggies have learned how to saunter up staircases. I didn't think you could do that with hooves, but here you are.
Well, you know, there's a lot of myths about pigs out there. Not the kill count or anything, that's up to date, but my grandpa used to think that they couldn't swim because their little hooves would cut them. You could say, that's right, we've evolved, or you're in trouble now, little lady. Well, we're not here for that. What are we, laying down the law? No, we're establishing a new law. Whatever the hell, is that what we're doing? Well, we'll look to the communists for more guidance. We could say, we cops don't like closed doors or unreachable perches, but people having the high ground on us. What are you, a Star War? You could say, I don't have time for this. Yeah, we've evolved, why not?
Yeah, I can see that. Cool mutations.
Yep, almost looks like a full-fledged person, huh?
That smell coming from her paint bucket. It's not paint. It's heavy fuel oil.
Oh, now that you're a little closer, huh? Is it heavy fuel oil?
Red dyed heavy fuel oil, intended for exclusive use in government vehicles, to be precise.
Oh, and then the mechanical knowledge comes into play. Okay.
What did you think I was using? Aquarels? Sucked it out of a cop's fuel tank myself. Back in Jamrock.
Okay, well that does add to the artistry of it. Sometimes the material is the message.
She really did it. She's proud of it too.
Okay, mood though. Okay, mood though. We could say fumes are bad for you, okay? Or you better hand it over, because we ran out of gas. Or that's some clever cultural commentary. Yeah, I feel like this third one is the one I picked up on the most. It's very clever.
You ain't seen nothing yet, Piggy Boo.
Is it still uncomfortable to be complimented by us? Well, maybe. Alright, 7 minutes remain. Don't want to put yourself overboard. Reading any of the books really absolutely clips through time. Did we see all of... okay, we saw all of the Pale.
The face of King Fleecell smiles at you. For some reason, the smile now strikes you as more forced than it did before.
You could have the editor's note or international developments. I feel like the editor's note is like, how local is this? Does that give us some insight?
Comrade, as you know, this journal takes its name from Mazov's immortal expression, Du cristal à la fumée. This was his way of describing the way the rigid, crystalline structures of capitalist ideology turned to smoke under communism.
A comforting sort of smoked away.
But, like the structures of capitalist ideology, we too are at risk of going à la fumée. Unlike many publications which are content to spoon-feed their readers reassuring drivel, La Fumée is committed to telling the radical truth, even when that truth may drive away potential subscribers.
It's really strange to consistently try to see how radical communist sort of rhetoric tries to survive underneath capitalism because I mean, you end up needing money to survive. It's uncomfortable.
Perhaps they've overestimated the market demand for this kind of commentary.
Good one, savoir-faire.
So please, if you value our radical Mazovian perspective on contemporary politics, culture, and international affairs, please consider subscribing today. Yours in struggle, the editors.
No doubt about it. And you can say, Kim, I think this is a communist magazine, but I feel like I've seen so many plugs for YouTuber Patreons end in this exact way. If you value our radical Mazovian perspective on contemporary politics, please consider subscribing. Life imitating art, imitating life, imitating art. Alright, Kim, receive this whisper.
What do you expect? It was laying around the office of the Debarders Union. They're probably bankrolling the thing.
Oh, why are you so surprised? Surprised at my surprise? I'm not surprised. I just wanted to see if you were surprised.
You flip back to the front of the magazine. The table of contents unfolds before you.
The minutes passing in a worryingly variable way. What did I miss in the chat? Some dialogue, some doors open, and you say, and Cindy is awesome and should be proud of herself. What are cops gonna do with that? Oil run over minorities. Oh! Oh! Ow! Ow! Okay, sharp. And you're saying, also being able to light up your art afterward would look cool as fuck. Dyeing it red is also a strong statement. Right? Potentially flammable. I kind of wonder if, not just the motor oil aspect of it, to read into some art that's technically digital but treat it as if it were physical. I wonder if the fact of it being a type of oil plays into a willingness to burn all this down. I mean, practically, realistically speaking, there's regular people who live in there. Maybe she doesn't want to do that, or maybe she's so bored that she would. I don't know. I haven't talked to her that much. It could be anything. But, no, having it made of oil that you smear on a building kind of gives it a, this is in my control. I have one element of control over this kind of element. Alright.
This section includes a long, tedious critique of the latest round of free trade negotiations between the EPIS nations and the Free State of Semenine. You also skip over an article about heavy fuel oil smuggling along the Messina border, something about bear wrestling in Samara, book riots in Yugograd.
It's really funny to hear about oil smuggling right after we found this out from Cindy.
Face it, you really aren't interested in foreign affairs. You're not even sure where most of these countries are.
Well, I guess that's always an issue.
You flip back to the front of the magazine. The table of contents unfolds before you.
The books, the reading, they do indeed push us forward a little bit. But the last minutes are still there to handle. It seemed like the going over your police ledger was pretty involved most of the time. We got library cards, we got coldest April. It's about lovers. Okay, I don't know if that helps your mental state right before meeting some new people, but
In your hands, you hold 16 Days of Coldest April by Yekaterina Dahl. The cover image shows a row of concrete apartments above which span a black and white rainbow.
Black and white, huh? I like that name too. You can feel the weight of it.
The book is unusually heavy in your hands, as though the cover were lined with lead.
Because it's romance, do you just feel more heavy about it emotionally?
Who would do that in Grad?
What? Okay.
You flip through the book. The pages are thinner than you realized, and the type quite small and tightly set. It's nearly 600 pages long.
No shortage of long literature, even within a work of long literature itself. You can look at the back cover.
The back cover is dominated by a black and white photograph of the author.
And who's that?
She can't be much older than her mid-30s in this photograph. And yet, from this cover, the eyes of a sad old woman stare back at you.
Okay, when I was waiting for the smoker on the balcony, I skipped through the time by being sort of locked into the book on the pail.
The back
So if I click on that again, does it pass any time? No, it doesn't. Ha! Nervous.
Stare back at you. In cold, detached prose, the author describes a scene from one of the Yugograd riots in the 20s. Youths overturned motor carriages and set trash cans ablaze, while heavily armored guardsmen dash in and disperse them in a flurry of baton blows.
I'm terrified. I'm terrified. The storytelling is absorbing him.
As ethnic tensions run wild, a pair of young lovers meet each other on the street. Somehow, in the middle of all the chaos, they manage to lock arms and look into each other's eyes.
I really clicked on this.
It would physically hurt you to keep reading. Are you sure?
No more.
You've made the right life choices today, sir.
Oh. Well, it really absorbed you, didn't it? Well, hopefully. There wasn't a way to pass 1 minute, so I passed 15 of them. There wasn't a way to pass 1 minute, so I passed 15 of them. Hello. Did the meeting last 15 minutes? Aha. Let's inspect some things. We're in the den of communism. Who was sleeping here recently? Oh, yeah, maybe Cindy. Let's have our hand on the tab key to see what we can inspect. Click. Rats of the city in here too. Alright, crowbars or something. Yeah, why not? Which things could help us pop stuff open? Oh, yeah, there's just $5 in here. Well, we haven't been penalized for this yet, but this would be a terrible first impression. And there's laborer jeans. it looks like cut off to me at this moment. Sure, try on the pants instantly. Why not? Try on the pants instantly. Is it shorts? Okay. Although the jeans look worn, the wearer must have had an ass given to them by the mighty Lord himself. That beautiful peach-shaped man-ass has imprinted itself so deep in the fabric you can't help but wonder if wearing them would start molding your own vague rear side into a more shapely form as well. You find shapewear? But like natural? All natural shapewear? Okay. You put on the pants for some reason.
These new jeans are perfect for sticking your hand into. Makes you look cool, calm, and collected. As your hand enters the pocket, your fingers brush against something soft yet crinkly.
Okay. This really makes me wonder how many times Kim Kitsuragi has stood by and just seen us change our pants. What's the item?
Hey, it's a chewing gum wrapper. It reminds you of the fruity juice of apricots. You should inspect it closer if you have time. Something about the wrapper's texture is familiar.
Okay.
Not familiar in a good way, you might say. There's pain in there somewhere.
Is it a chewing gum your wife used to like? I'm looking around. There's coal and chemicals, and that's about it. Alright, so we entered from somewhere, and I think that takes us back out. I'm spinning Kim. Not on purpose, it's not exactly. But we can spin him if we wish. Alright. Looks like the amount of things to inspect. Does that take us right back out? Deeply curious. This door?
As you approach the metal grill, you can hear several voices having what appears to be an animated discussion.
Are we starting out strong? Are they already having leftist infighting?
This must be it. Beyond this door lies the beating heart of radical communism in Martinez.
It feels worrisome to have your hopes up, man. And things I missed in the chat, saying also marking a place of great catastrophe, right, where a lot of communists were murdered. Right, the symbolism comes together from the environment with Cindy's art. And I'm pretty sure the time skip is okay. Okay, door up the stairs, but I inspected some stuff regardless. Okay.
Somehow, the night air softens the smell of trash and sea brine. As the breeze pulls through the canvas like a shuttle through a loom, you catch a hint of something unexpected. Something earthy, warm, and burnt.
Do they cook together or something?
The acrid smell of failure.
Well, I was optimistic. Rhetoric, okay.
No, that's just burnt coffee. A smell you would recognize anywhere.
Rhetoric, what was with that downer kind of... I mean, I understand what was with it, but also what was with that.
Just look at these pigs sniffing about after hours.
We can say, why didn't you say the secret door was right behind you? Or it's past curfew, go to bed. We can say, why didn't you say? We know why she didn't say, but why didn't you say?
Must have slipped my mind. You know how it goes.
I guess I do.
The metal grill is cool to the touch.
Perfect.
You notice the lieutenant is looking uncustomarily anxious. His posture is rigid. His right hand hovers near the zipper of his jacket.
Do we get both of the options? You okay and relax, or just a you okay or just a relax?
Oh, I'm fine. I was practically born to infiltrate underground communist cells.
I mean...
Which is just to say, we should be prepared for any eventuality.
Okay. And you could try to listen to things. Yeah, why not?
You can make out at least two separate voices.
Oh, even with the boombox on your shoulder?
Two voices, both male, approximately early 20s.
Well, it's a very successful perception and hearing, yeah.
Careful with those now.
What's up?
I have it. It's going to work. I can feel it.
And we can knock. Or bang on it.
The clang of metal reverberates all along the scaffolding. The voices coming from the other side fall silent.
Okay, what's up?
A pair of frightened hares cowering in some dark crevice of their burrow.
Nothing to be frightened of. I'm just an ordinary communist, potential communist, who also is a cop. That's not scary. It's not.
Who's there? Is that you, Maurice?
We could say it's not Maurice, it's the police. A little bit of slam poetry for you, or it's right, it is I, Maurice, or are you all communists? I'm looking for some communists. They're gonna know Maurice's voice, right? Then it doesn't sound like you. Cause as slimy as that is, why not be honest?
Who said communist? Did we say communist? Get out of here.
Listen, I've already built. Get out of here, Norton. Listen, I've already built like 0.0001% of communism, but now I need to get organized. Can you help me?
For a moment, silence.
Ernest.
What's the passphrase?
And then it was like written down or something. Is it this pissing competition? There's, okay, insects, Suna, signs, egg, a cell, organized? Huh. Well, we did find a secret passphrase, sort of. One of the many, many problems with several weeks between episodes. Well, I have a missed in the chat saying, okay, mysteriously painful gum, time to comrades, and saying, we're not infiltrating Kim, we'll fit right in. And there's cute communist hairs in their burrow, and I tried clicking on the Norton pop-up. It was killing me out here. Okay, because I think we did talk to... did talk to... What was that? Inspect the traps? Talked to Mr. Man up there, and I'm pretty sure it was this. Even though blessed are the sausage grinders. Do I get to try more than one, or will it be like, boo, we hate your pussy, Harry Dubois? No, I'm pretty sure it was the... I did also... Okay, I also forgot to save beforehand. Okay, but we're good, and I'm pretty sure it was this.
There's no response. You begin to wonder whether they've slipped out some back way.
Come on, guys, please. Come on, I resisted talking about the meat grinder because I want to meet you for real.
No, they're still there. You can feel them back there.
Come on, you know I'm a buddy.
Alright. The key's taped to the back of the door frame. Just make sure you put it back when you're done, or we'll all be locked out.
Well, that's an awkward way of being.
And do watch the concrete. It just kind of falls away, in places.
This is quite the cold hangout.
Charmant. After you, detective.
Nice.
Have fun at your underground meeting, Pig. Hope it's a blast.
Somehow, Sandy, you're making me think this is gonna be less than I might expect or want it to be. I hope it's a blast too, but not in a getting blown up kind of way. What's going on? Tarps flapping in the wind, forgotten nails and hammers rust. There's something so thoughtless, is that the right word? About unfinished projects laying around and becoming part of a landscape. It's also like my room.
The two young men are either oblivious to or ignoring your entrance. Their attentions are fixed on whatever it is they're stacking in the middle of the floor.
That's not a... They're not like building communism with that, are they? That's more like Legos. It's more like a pack of cards. More like...
Matchboxes, it appears.
Okay.
I think it's holding bullets.
Okay, perfect.
It is. It's holding.
Echo Maker and Stepan the student communist.
Careful, careful.
I mean, just regular... Ah, ooh, ah. Well, hello. You ready to talk to me now? Yeah, I was careful walking in.
Damn. Hardly any difference.
What? Okay, shakes his head, then looks up at you and the lieutenant with barely concealed irritation.
You two. You are late.
Are we? By how much?
They should know the meeting starts at 10 p.m. sharp.
Okay.
One leader and one follower. The most ancient power dynamic.
One leader-like pose of sitting and one very casual pose. What's up?
There's a great deal of tension in this young man's shoulders. More than someone his age should bear.
I mean, doesn't the perception of what's appropriate for each age change?
Meanwhile, his companion inclines toward him, eager to catch every word that dribbles from his friend's mouth.
Assigned echo maker at first impression.
Don't let them see you flustered, sire. Play along.
I kept the drama stat relatively high, but I don't know. Don't know. We could say, you weren't exactly easy to find, or what am I late for exactly, or my apologies, comrades, I had to be sure I wasn't being tailed by our class enemies. It's not important to lie to them. I feel like the RCM patches are fairly simple or easy to spot. I'm kind of intrigued. I am intrigued. What?
He's taken your measure, like an ideological boxer stepping into the ring. This must be the theory combat the Boyadero warned you about. On guard.
Okay, I'm on guard.
We all have to take precautions, especially during these delicate times. What matters is that you've made it, and that you've done the reading.
Wait, no, did I lie too convincingly? No, wait, I have questions.
No one said anything about reading. You'll just have to wing this one.
Like, how much? Okay, we could say, what is this reading? I thought this was a revolutionary group, or there must be some misunderstanding. No one mentioned any reading, or... Kim, did you do the reading? If I only get to choose one, I would ask him.
No, detective. The only reading I've been doing is right here.
On task as always. Well, it's admirable.
He seems to be wagging the notebook at you, as though he suspects you may have forgotten why you're here.
You're right to suspect that. We've forgotten everything about our identity. But they live here. What if they know something?
I have not had time to seek out pretentious communist book clubs, nor have I done their reading.
Say it louder, why don't you?
It doesn't sound like they've done the reading, Staban.
Alright.
Well, this is getting awkward. I'm not sure what you're expecting to find here then.
Buddies. Also, I brought music if you wanted to party.
There's profound consternation in his voice. You suspect it's about something bigger than your not having done the reading.
Something bigger as in a lack of cohesion in order to make tangible change?
Maybe they can explain themselves.
Straight up, we just showed up, we just found out you existed, found out the meeting existed, tried to be here sharply, read a little book. Okay, there's things I missed in the chat, such as we finally found our mysterious fellow communists, and it's a couple of students, right? The ordinary qualities of people, saying, I do love these guys though, and saying, when you said, are they building communism with the matchboxes? Literally, you saw the metaphor straight away. Oh goddamn. Crumbled yet again and swept to the side. And we can ask, okay, what exactly are you two doing here? What were you doing with the matchboxes just now? And if it was a metaphor, would you explain it to us? What you doing?
In the most generous sense, I would say we're cultivating revolutionary consciousness.
Okay.
Yes, that's probably the best way to describe it.
Okay.
But more specifically, we are running a reading group. The most rigorous and theoretically advanced materialist reading group in Martinez.
Well, that's something, right? That is something.
Comrade Steban is a great discussion leader. One of the best at the university.
Well, it sounds like you're really into him.
Yawn. Can you imagine anything duller than a bunch of beanoclards yanking each other's knobs.
You say that as if you were expecting a communist sex cult. Not everything can be a communist sex cult. Is this where I can square off in theory combat, or sounds like a regular book club, or sounds like a yank fest for beanos? Hey, how about the first one? You learned terms, and they mean something. Why
We
not?
have been known to get into some spirited debates, but it's always in service of our larger intellectual and ideological project.
And does the ideology involve, like, I don't know, volunteering in any sense or what?
Precisely. We are not interested in senseless parroting. We like to read critically.
Does that take up like all of your time, or is it like a balanced diet?
Within the contours of Mazovian historical materialism, of course.
Of course, or okay, we could ask. I didn't realize they taught radical Masovian theory in the universities, or what does your reading group actually read? Or I think I get the idea. Let me ask something else. Could say I didn't realize they taught that, or what do you actually read? I'm more curious what they actually read.
We study all the foundational texts of Mazovian theory, of course. Just last week we finished the second volume of Puncher and Watman's Innocence of Capital.
Okay.
Truly extraordinary.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta...
And before that we spent 6 weeks on State and Plasm.
Well, it sounds enriching. That hardly needs to be secret, then.
Uh-oh. You can
No.
feel your attention span rapidly
I'm
deteriorating.
sorry, Harry. I'm sorry I didn't dress you in smart things. You could let your mind wander. You could force yourself to keep listening. Maybe does
We've
that do
also read
anything?
Bert Muller's The Level Structure of History, and before that, Real and Reality.
Okay.
Arblaus infernal.
They came up with every title for this.
The original Fizdale translation, not that watered down revisionist garbage.
Well, it sounds like a very extensive book club.
These two deserve the Order of Honor for bullshitting. There's no way they've actually read all this stuff.
You're sure, drama?
Obviously.
Okay.
But, of course, our special emphasis is on the theories of Ignaz Nilsson and his followers, especially the inframaterialists.
Well, can you extend a hand to a to a beginner? You can say, who are these inframaterialists? Or, I know who Krasmasov is, but who is this Ignaz Nilsson guy? Huh. Two diverging paths. Guess I'm more curious about the second one.
Only Krasmazov's most trusted lieutenant, the evangelist of the revolution, and the founding father of the People's Republic of Samara.
Alright. Good to know the key figures.
It's hard to overstate
Oh,
how
no.
unimpressed he is that you've never heard of this world historical individual.
Well, isn't an unenlightened rube what you've been doing all this for? It's supposed to spread, and where is your effectiveness in spreading this? You're supposed to reach out to a fellow person, dare I say?
He also happens to be the greatest communist theorist after Mazov himself.
Great.
It was Nilsson who first postulated the existence of ideological plasm, which forms the basis of inframaterialist theory.
If this is how you communicate, the foundations of your movement are not solid. Okay, I'm going.
Sounds like a heavy drug. You might want to ask about it.
You know, you might as well get a laugh out of things.
The young man sighs. His companion looks about furtively.
Okay, fascinating out here. A much awaited crack into here, and there's, as you're saying, I love that they're just very normal guys, but yeah, they're built up as this super mysterious underground group. They're just two very normal students with a book club, and and saying, yeah, Harry, why haven't you been studying your communism? You've only found one tiny magazine, I think. I'm pretty sure, unless I've forgotten, which is possible I've forgotten, which it would seem likely that I've forgotten. So, the part where, after entering a secret book club and standing face to face with somebody who's unimpressed by our knowledge, the part where I take off our pants. Will you still be here if I have more questions?
Sure. We're here most every night. Maybe we'll catch you again.
Yeah, okay.
Sleep well, gendarme.
Oh, are we sleeping, or am I changing my pants in front of you? Or walking around the room? Because, if encyclopedia is part of things, then that's something we would want. You want logic versus drama? I wish I knew. I wish I knew anything. Even more logic? Something like that? There's several things that you can go on with. You could minus your empathy if you wanted. None of these were particularly for encyclopedia stuff. You put on your bottle glasses to join the book club. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. The hat. You're logic and encyclopedia'd up. And that's so perfect in this world. And that's so excellent and knowledgeable and everything you could want. Probably. Okay, now I have more knowledge. And I ruffle through your desk and perceive your coffee with a lot of description. Hello.
Gendarme returns. What do you need?
Well, we could ask, does the reading group have anything to do with the lynching, or is the reading group accepting new members? Because even if you're unimpressed, what if it's good to have more people getting more knowledge in their heads? And you could say, where's the rest of the reading group? What are we doing with the matchboxes? Yeah, I mean, we're here. Let's find out all the things. I guess first of all, do you have anything to do with the lynching?
Lynching? No. We're not an operational cell.
Well, tell me why not?
We think of ourselves as more of an intellectual vanguard.
Then that's valuable. But I have the urge to rank that below several things in value. Okay, what's your group's stance on the lynching? Because as an intellectual vanguard, you should have stances. Stance me.
Our stance? What? Do you want to know if the SRV has established a party line on the lynchings in Martinez?
Okay, I know I sound like a cop right now, but what's up? You got opinions? I want opinions.
Though historically speaking, the SRV has supported direct action against right-wing paramilitary squads, especially when they are doing the Indo-tribes' dirty work.
Yeah, historically, well, I'm on the ground. If you wanted to be functional, paradoxically, directly through a policeman who's running around, was there anything you would want to do functionally?
Good point. So as a provisional matter, I can say we support it.
Okay, cool.
Are they being sarcastic?
Oh.
You feel like you're caught in some elaborate joke labyrinth, but it's impossible to see your way through.
Yeah, that's what talking to people who don't let you in on something feels like.
It's always that way.
Oh.
Beneath the crust of irony, there's a molten sincerity that threatens to erupt forth. You may witness it yet.
You will just sincerity. We're gonna see this, and we're gonna say, is your reading group affiliated with the union somehow? Oh, well, since they had a stance, it follows to ask.
No, we're an independent organization.
Knew as much, got as
We acknowledge and
much.
respect the union's efforts, but our interests are more theoretical than Mr. Clare's.
As a person, as a player sitting in front of my computer right now, I don't want to be anti-intellectual in any capacity. I think that's a genuine poison in the world, scoffing at knowledge, at the pursuit of knowledge, at knowing things. I think I see people having that stance, and I think that is disheartening and bodes poorly for making a future that you are informed of, that references back to the past in a way that gives you the greatest amount of chances to achieve something good, but also, despite not wanting to be anti-intellectual, it's so hard to see the value. It's so okay, but I haven't even talked to them. They could be, it could relate to something. It's so hard to see the value in something that doesn't directly feed people. That's what I'm saying, I guess. What's your stance on crime in general, we can ask.
That's easy. Crime is simply the inevitable expression of the injustice and incoherence embedded within capitalism itself.
Sure. That makes me wonder if they've seen any experiments in this world. Any experiments, like, with universal basic income, or if it's set in a different sort.
Delivered with the smug assurance of a schoolboy reciting a maxim he's committed to memory.
And it's not helping my perception of him that the only inner voices that are working are like, look at this smug little kid, come on. We're reaching out, we're learning, we're knowing. Continue.
It's a symptom, in other words, not a cause.
And that's all there is to say on the subject of crime. Well, looky here, Stepan. I'm Herr de Bois, and I've driven myself absolutely mad, coming face to face with every single crime possible over the course of a lifetime.
His companion can barely suppress a yawn.
That part makes you yawn. You guys should become interns for me. I'm not just saying this because we're understaffed. And are there any operational communists in Martinez?
No, unfortunately. The communards were hunted down and killed nearly to a man. All that's left of them are bones and old rifles.
We've seen plenty of them. Oh, we could say like this one. Show him the rifle. Okay, that's fun that we found that.
His companion's eyes widen as you hold up the ancient weapon.
Want to put it in a museum or something?
Yes, like that one. I wonder how many of these are still lying around in cellars or sealed up behind the masonry. Can I hold it?
I mean, we would know if it worked. Yeah, hold it.
It's heavier than I was expecting.
And it rests in his open palms. Its position reminds you of something. Does it remind you of your missing gun or something else?
The attitude of a priest bearing one of the holy relics of his faith.
Reverend.
Though it is long out of service, its power is evident to him.
As if handing him a physical object brings him a little closer to reality, but it's still in the historical sense. What?
When he's finished, he returns the rifle to you with a nod of appreciation.
Well, that's fun. We can ask where's the rest of the reading group and what I missed in the chat. Just ordinary sorts of things, saying maybe there's more Harry could learn from them, though. I mean, you gotta start somewhere for sure. I wonder how well they can communicate the information that they've so diligently gathered, because I'm no master at it, but I feel like communicating is everything. It's everything. Well, that was a more definitive statement than I wanted to make, and saying he already has the enthusiasm and desire for the world to be better, and saying crime is a symptom of the system. Yeah, just facts to that, huh? Just facts to that, and saying, where is the rest of the reading group in this exploration of a communist group?
What do you mean? This is the reading group.
I'm gonna look up on my modern cellular phone the word group right now. I'm gonna look it up for a definition, and if it tells me more than two people, define group.
Here's the definition of group.
If it...
Number of people or things that are located close together or are considered a...
Okay, I guess two people could be grouped together. You wouldn't just couple them together. Okay, so it's just the two of you, or shouldn't a group have like more people in it, or two is all you need? Me and Kim are the same way. I wouldn't call you and Kim a group because I'm nitpicking apparently, but that's so sweet. That's so sweet. I have to click on it. If I only get one, I have to click on that one.
Kim and I.
Okay, I would be sweet around here. Okay, scribbled in the notebook.
We're in something of a rebuilding phase.
Rebuilding communism itself or your group?
Some of our former comrades didn't have the ideological fortitude our work demands.
And your work is reading all of the things you just said that you read, right? Because it was intellectual as opposed to actionable. What happened to them?
Intellectual attrition is maybe the best way to describe it. Felix said he couldn't keep up with the reading on top of his classwork.
Well, yes.
And Susanna wanted to read text other than Masovian theory. like novels, if you can believe it.
She think it was an ordinary book club, or did someone express communism really well in this? So, okay, no efforts to make it more accessible to people, in terms of scheduling at least. And you could say novels, unbelievable. Well, you'll never believe what made us late to this. Or I like a good novel every now and then. Or maybe you just haven't found the right group yet. Well, if I'm here to kiss up, you know I'm not kissing down. Let's kiss up. You haven't found the right group. And the right group is me.
We've tried recruiting new members, but unfortunately the current intellectual climate is pretty hostile to infra-materialist thought. These days, if you're on the left, the Ascendant schools are the Godwaldians and their iconoclasts.
Even when all the words are made up for world building, and I love the amount of detail, and I love that it rocks, nothing's more leftist than infighting.
Don't forget about Maurice and the turnips.
Who could forget, I say, as if I've heard of that.
Right. Then there was the whole turnip debacle.
Okay.
Whatever this turnip business is about, one thing is perfectly clear. These young students have a much deeper understanding of communism than you do.
Perfect. Okay.
You could learn a thing or two from them. If you can convince them, you're one of them.
We're one of the pack. We're here. And maybe when we're really close, I can convince Kim this had something to do with the murder investigation too. I don't know. We can say, what's so bad about the Gotwaldians? Who are the Inoclards? What about Cindy? Is she part of the group? She seems like a more effective communicator than either of you put together. Maybe I'm biased. I met her first. I'm most curious about that. Is Cindy part of it?
Cindy is... How to describe her role?
As if it's a role that you delegate. I think that she would probably have a role, no matter what you spoke of her.
Something of an ideological auxiliary, perhaps.
Yes, that's exactly how I would put it. And naturally, we support her radical counter-liberal aesthetics.
Like a friend or companion?
But she refuses to submit an essay, so we can't call her a member of the group per se.
What? Why would you not accept the painting on the wall outside as a substitute assignment? Because that seems pretty powerful to me. That seems pretty... Okay, things I've missed in the chat are... I mean, most of the communists were killed, but their kids have a lot of the right ideas, and they're young people that recognize the suffering in the world, and the people who are oppressed in our society want it to be better. They have the spirit. I think they need better and more ambitious methods, right? And saying, how dare they want to read Not Communism? Poor Susanna. And this turnip infighting, and saying Cindy did write that article about the racing people, and she seems like a more active communist, right? One of the things they gotta write... I just walked in here and I'm doling out judgment, what the hell? But one of the things they had to write is surely a schedule to allocate their time. But what do they think theory is made of? It comes from actions. It comes from being a part of the world. And you think Cindy said she was too cool for these nerds? I wouldn't be able to disagree.
That doesn't stop her from using the room for studio space, of course.
Seems excellent. Seems justified. Would you explain to me what's so bad about the Gotwaldians?
They're the most depressing school of communism.
Sure.
They love writing long books with a patina of Mazovian theory to cover up their cheap psychologizing.
Well, sounds like you've thought about them at length, and what else could I expect?
A gang of cheap psychologists and intellectual midgets. Typical Godwalders, in other words.
Okay. I love knowing about drama that I've never heard about existing. This goes for real life, and this goes for fictional things.
It's okay for Uli to say that, because his dad is from Gottwald.
Oh, it's a country. Oh my god. What's so depressing about their theories, or what's so bad about psychologizing? Which one would be more revealing? I feel like psychologizing, you could tack that description onto anything whatsoever, but depressing is more subjective and would reveal something about the person saying it. What's depressing?
The Godwald school believe that intellectuals as a class are incapable of sparking revolutionary change. So all they can do is critique capitalism from inside itself.
No. Wait. Wait, hey, hello. Okay, like incapable, period? Like incapable, hard stop, because inadvertently, from my immediate reaction to you, I already joined them. I did very much walk in here and already join them just by reacting to you. Okay, sorry. Incapable, like, period. Intellectualism has a role, an important role. You have to know what you're doing to have a clear path ahead, but then you have to take a step forward.
In other words, they have lost faith in their own relevance.
Explain it more. I'm jumping the gun. I'm jumping every gun. I'm jumping your antique guns.
That's why they spend all their time smoking cigarettes and writing long works of criticism that make you want to commit suicide.
Okay, so not so great? Not so great we don't join them? We could say it sounds miserable or it sounds rewarding. It's hard to know for sure what exactly it sounds like when you've never met one. It sounds miserable. Why not? I'm getting an in with you. I'm a kiss up.
It is miserable. That's probably why they're always committing suicide.
Okay. Okay, harsh. Okay.
You see, the Gottwald school look like communists. They talk like communists. But scratch the patina and you'll see beneath that they're just depressed liberals who've read too many books.
And there's too many books by your standards. But your standards are too many books for me, so where are we with this? What about the Iconoclads? The Iconoclads?
They love talking about beans.
Yeah, sure, that seems like it could be important. I would love to know an explanation. We could say what's wrong with beans. I like beans. They were part of that mysterious soup earlier. We could say no more beans for me. Can't stand the stuff. I don't know, let's like some beans.
Oh, sure. But the Iconoclads are obsessed with beans. They love thinking about beans. They love counting beans. But most of all, they love building models to predict how many beans there'll be in the future.
I need to see a scholar react to this part of the game. Suffused with the feeling that there is an in-joke that I cannot quite get.
They're by far the most bean-centric school of communism.
Perfect.
Ah, yes. The much maligned bean counters, ensconced in their think tanks and high-rises, believing they can save the world through a series of incremental, assiduously technocratic reforms.
The type that negotiates with the government versus outside of it. I don't get it. Are the beans a metaphor? From the description, I feel like they wouldn't be. But isn't it good to know how many beans there are? And what's wrong with making progress through moderate economic reforms? Oh, you don't even have to ask that. I would love to ask all of these, but you don't have to ask that one. It's obvious enough. And tell me if the beans are a metaphor, please.
If only. They've got all the beans accounted for in their asset sheets, their quarterly budgets, their future projections. But for some reason, there are never enough beans to go around. So we've just got to cut our bean rations in half.
One of these groups sounds more into capitalism.
The next thing you know, there are budget cuts. So now we've got to cut the bean rations in half again.
You
see, Iconoclads claim to be communists. But in reality, they're just liberals with hard-ons for spreadsheets.
The description of that was such that I wonder where their claim to communism comes from. Okay, what about liberals? Are liberals also liberals?
Of course not. The only people who actually call themselves liberals are mouth-foaming reactionaries.
Did Joyce down there call herself a liberal earlier?
Basically indistinguishable from fascists. You need an X-ray machine to tell the difference.
They should talk to everyone in the game. This would be fascinating. I would love to see how the different characters bounce off each other. This rocks. And what about turnips? Please tell me.
It's an unfortunate story. You see, Our ex-comrade Maurice is something of an economist.
This is off to a terrible start.
He's studying macro and microeconomics.
What about medium economics?
Well, a real intellectual, it sounds like.
What's good, Kim?
Right. So a few weeks ago, we were discussing the extra physical capabilities of the revolutionary state. And Maurice said, what were his exact words, Ulex's?
It's gonna feel like a fresh wound, whatever it was, wasn't it?
It was unbelievable. He said, turnips don't care if they are grown by communists, moralists, or Vulcan. They grow just the same.
Is that speaking to needing to harvest resources no matter where they come from?
Basically, he was rejecting the whole foundation of inframaterialist theory.
I need you to break this down into even smaller parts than you think possible, because there's people out here who want to join you, but damn it, they're not all at the same level. They have something to offer nevertheless, goddamn.
What is this inframaterialist business they keep blathering about? You've never heard of anything like it.
Just please tell us what inframaterialist theory says about turnips.
Simply that under suitably revolutionary conditions, crop yields naturally increase relative to non-revolutionary crops, which Morris somehow has the gall to deny.
My classes today actually were just going over how not an increase of turnips, but how science progresses like a lot faster than the law. Things that are put into law that gets like stagnant and such. And does that also go for things that are enshrined in theory? I'm fascinated.
Susanna said that he has been hanging out with some non-communists lately.
You lost him. You lost him. Unless you could talk to him like a person, in which case you would have him in some sense.
For us, the question boiled down to, if you don't even accept the basic ideas of Nielsen and inframaterialist theory, why are you in the reading group?
Maybe he liked you. Maybe he liked you. So you expelled Maurice from the reading group over an argument about turnips. We could say I understand or I don't understand. I feel like I didn't do much in the way of understanding or impressing him, even if that's the goal. So we could say I don't understand.
Exactly. What educated person could believe that turnips grow at the same rate under capitalism and communism?
Somebody who grows the turnips firsthand. I'm gonna be stuck in a loop on opinions about that.
Reflection on our educational institutions.
Okay, great. So you expelled Maurice from the reading group over a turnip argument.
Well, it wasn't so much that he was expelled.
It's so small that you weren't hanging out anymore?
He just quit coming. We haven't seen him around for weeks.
Well, that's a slow die-off. That's maybe more depressing than other things.
Go ahead.
It's been fascinating around here. There's things I've missed in the chat, such as, Joyce did say that capital has the ability to absorb all critiques into itself or something. That kind of starting to sell critiques of capitalism under capitalism. And you're saying fake communists who are too afraid to commit, the liberal not committing makes it easier to play both sides. And you're saying this part of the game is super interesting though, yeah, where we really get into the political themes of the game. And saying Joyce called herself an ultra liberal, the digivolved liberal. I'm imagining her glowing with powerful energy now. And you're saying Logic asking the same thing you are. Oh my god. I'm heading out of this game pretty soon because I'm feeling like it's almost where I want to be in terms of timing. I do want to know what they were doing with the matchboxes.
The young man frowns at the little pile of boxes on the floor.
Let me know.
Nothing, just messing around until the meeting started.
And not building a collapsing metaphor for communism. You wouldn't tell me if you were. Well, what about new members? You love me.
We typically only accept new members once per semester.
Students, all of you.
With essays and presentations on assigned topics.
It's really fascinating how much they're adhering to the structure that they've grown up with in university and school and stuff, and not even deviating from that in any way. just imitating a greater power structure that they've never been outside of.
But given that we have some extra seats at the moment, I guess we could be convinced to expedite an application or two.
I saw screenshots of something going on with chairs. Can I buy board games? Can I bring them board games? This is what I want.
Steban, you can't be serious. For these gendarmes?
Yeah, okay, people have said that word, and I didn't bother to look it up, which is maybe very gendarme of me, but but this is the first time it sounds, derogatory.
I'm serious. As materialists, we've got to adapt to conditions as they are.
Adaptation.
Besides, you still need to pass the interview portion of the entrance process.
Oh, you want essay from Harry Dubois? You want essay from the man?
Assuming he's even still interested, that is.
What? What? Wait, why? Okay, when I saw Impossible Check, I was like, okay, we're facing more failures. Then I mouse over it and 92. What? Unstoppable literary worm. Huh?
What's there
What?
to be scared of? You've really been cracking the books these last few days. You can go toe to intellectual toe with any reading group in Martinez.
You're sure? Okay.
Now, chin up. You've got this.
We could say this is just the group I've been looking for. When do we start? Or, alright, let's do this interview. Well, okay.
Oh, you want to start now? Sure, we can manage that.
Yeah, I just said I wanted to, end the game, but we're succeeding at things. Hi.
You've caught him off balance. The momentum is already in your favor.
Here's a seasoned person who's seasoned at talking to people.
Go ahead and take a seat. Since we haven't had time to prepare an exhaustive questionnaire, I think we can keep this interview more freeform.
Freeform is the Dubois methodology. Well, I'm sure you're glad you waited up for this, Kim.
Why don't you tell us a bit about the books you're interested in? And we'll just see where the conversation goes.
We could say for me, it's more about finding the right thing for the right moment, or I'm more into practical books, books that help me understand the real world, or I've got to be honest, I may not have read many books, but that doesn't mean I don't have stories. The middle one seems like it's dismissing their viewpoint, which they have so far been pretty sensitive about. The first one seems kind of ambiguous. The third one, it seems like they would look down on it, but maybe you could talk your way through it. I feel like I never know when the hammer's gonna fall, when there's consequences that can't be reversed. I'm feeling the third one.
Okay, we'll bite. What sort of stories are we talking about?
Well, he's a walking wad of theory that's been put into practice, that goes back into theory.
A real-life procedural, complete with gory details.
What are we about to tell them?
Give them sex and drugs. They're clearly not getting any on their own.
But it could be part of communism if you... What? Okay, you can start out with, let's just say the human body starts to do some weird things when it's been stuck in a tree for 7 days, but they're aware of that and maybe not walking by it so much. Or, I'll tell you how I infiltrated the wild pines for my investigation. Did you, though? Or, let me tell you about a little incident I had with this woman at my hostel. Or, I'll tell you about the time I woke up and completely forgot what money is. I'm fascinated by so much of this. Getting the feeling that I can't click all of them. Forgetting what money is appeals to me in this.
We're getting into the psychiatric pathologies of life under capital. Let's see where this goes.
Well, it's something that just happened to us, man. But if you want to interpret it that way, go ahead.
Yes, I'm rather curious myself.
So am I.
You've got them. They're starting to loosen up. You're relaxed and in control. You deftly weave every piece of the story together.
With a communist slant or just normal style?
I'm just trying to imagine what it would be like to wake up with no concept of what money is.
Well, if you're trying to imagine it, I haven't given you enough details.
If you encountered it in a novel, you'd say it sounded like a plot contrivance or like a fantasy.
There's just a guy in front of you that it happened to. You can say I wouldn't believe it either, but I swear it's the truth. But isn't the point that money itself is just a collective fantasy? The second one has more conviction.
Perhaps. But it's a fantasy that pays for things. Like your hostel bill.
Your gift is not unappreciated, Kim. It's very much appreciated.
No, it's just like Mazovro. The freeman of the future will be he who awakens in perfect ignorance of capital.
And we've actually been prophesized by this world's version of Marx. And then so, like, your drunk bender was like pulling the sword out of the stone. And now you have to lead these people, not as their king, because we don't do that here, but in a different way that's like a king.
Wait, Steban, are you saying the gendarme is some kind of future communist?
This is the problem with artistic interpretation. It can be bluffed. It can be... But maybe it's the wonderful solution with artistic interpretation. Lay it on me.
Another quarter of an hour. The conversation bounces back and forth. Whatever their pretensions, it's clear these two have been craving something real.
I am amused so hard that my skin is tingling. This is great.
Now you can sense things starting to slow down. Time to wrap this tale up.
And anyway, even if you could somehow unpeel time, it wouldn't be the you who gets rich from those investments. You put together a goddamn word salad that matches the rest of their own. Okay.
But that would imply that whenever you unpeel time, you leave behind some kind of doppelganger in now time.
You boys needed some entertainment, didn't you?
Good God. Have we really been talking about unpeeling time for a quarter hour?
I'm so sorry, Kim. It's... You need to ask for overtime pay. You can have ours.
I suppose we'll have to leave it there. But listen, Jean-Noel. We could use someone with your breadth of expertise. With just a little more theoretical background, I think you'll be able to make some real contributions.
This has been everything. This has been... Okay, I'm glad I didn't end the episode before the check. What?
I'd say he's got serious potential at least.
Okay, thank you, voice of doubt, voice of balance.
Welcome to the most ideologically advanced materialist reading group in Martinez.
Came here to join communism. Can I, since I'm part of the group now, can I append a little subtitle to it? Joined communism, join the is that okay?
Here's your first assignment.
Oh yay.
It's an overview of inframaterialist theory. A little basic, as you'll see, but one has to start somewhere.
Okay, but if it's basic, he needs some basics, you know? And then I'm really interested if this world is actually going to explain something within it, to explain, like, is it going to hold any parallel to our real life if I go on reading that? Or is it only going to be relevant to the world of Disco Elysium? I'm curious.
Going to fit right in, I think. Come back when you're done. We'll be here pretty much every night after 10 p.m.
I have no idea if it's cruel and unusual to try to keep Kim for that.
Do be sure to take your time with the reading. We'll be eager to hear your thoughts.
Well, that's beautiful. I am massively satisfied with jumping back into this game, I guess. Okay, I don't know how I'm gonna fit it into scheduling things as I keep encountering various business. Let's catch up on the chat before we are out of here. You were saying communism and the hope that comes from wanting a better world, fighting for the less fortunate people in our society is at the heart of this game, but it's also not afraid to critique it, right? The harsh parts of it. If I click on things, what's up? Cracks on the floor, communism being built on shaky ground, and then under the cobblestones, communism. Is that all Cindy's art? No war but class war. That seems like a hopeful statement to me. And this rickety easels and stuff by Cindy. Phasmids? All of the stuff piled on top of each other for a second there. It's fascinating. And You say the king could smell the fire for the revolution within you, right? And Harry is the type of fresh perspective this world needs to realize the harmful things in society that others have become too comfortable with, and yeah, to see how stupid capitalism is, and saying we're getting into the wild stuff now, unravel the universe. I couldn't believe that worked. And yet, out of all the dialogue options there, I'm like, what else would have worked? I am fascinated times a million, but all of the paths of this like branch so intricately into each other. I'm now realizing that even with saving and going into it again, the very specific little bits of dialogue that I'm curious about can be a little hard to get to, a little bit difficult to grab at. And you're saying you're a real communist with real comrades, and saying, so yeah, Harry has got his homework now to read that communist book and come back the next day at the same time. These guys are fun characters. I like them. This is very fun indeed. Did I like look at all of their stuff? I show up, I join their book club, I explain that time unravels, and then we leave. This has been deeply, deeply fascinating. I hope that I can keep some kind of a handle on this. There's so much you want to review for this, but thank you very much thanks for hanging out with me. Hijinks Arcade, my friend. I'm glad I could make time for the most brilliant Disco Elysium out here, and